Hello, my name's Katie, and I'm going to be sharing my opinion on the A Good Girl's Guide to Murder series because the show recently came out, and I believe it's in the UK right now. But I think I know that it is coming to Netflix in July. So I just want to share that I'm a fan before the show. So if you want to watch that show and you're like, should I read the books first? Yes, you should. You should read this before you watch the show. So I'm gonna give you a little overview. This contains no spoilers. So let's just start off with A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, the first book. So basically, I'm gonna read the back of it for you. Okay. This is the story of an investigation turned obsession. Pretty and popular high school senior Andy Bell was murdered by her boyfriend Sal, who then killed himself. It was all anyone could talk about, and 5 years later, Pip sees how the tragedy still haunts her town. Now a senior herself, Pip decides to re-examine the closed case for her final project, at first just to cast doubt on the original investigation. But soon she discovers a trail of dark secrets that might actually prove Sal innocent. And the line between the past and present begins to blur. Someone in Fairview doesn't want Pip digging around for answers, and now her own life might be in danger. Okay. So this is a straight up murder mystery. I'm just gonna go on some age ratings. So I would say this book is for ages 13 up. The only thing I'm concerned about is so there is a little bit of language, not a whole bunch. So the language is pretty interesting, but it's not a lot. It's really not. And let's see. There's also some trigger warnings, or what is it called? Like warnings, I guess. Murder. Um Suicide. That's pretty much it. It's just pretty a violent book. It's not it's not really graphic, but it's kind of pretty interesting. But I'll give you a rundown. So yeah, I read that back. So Pip is a senior in high school, and she's like, I want to solve this case because she doesn't believe that there's no way that Sal killed his girlfriend, Andy, which is the name of the girlfriend. She's like, because the police didn't really do anything once they found Sal's body. They were like, oh, so it all lines up, so let's just close the case. This is what happened. Pip's kind of like, no, it's not. So that happens, yada yada. She's like, I'm gonna do this project, and she ends up going through all this stuff. She's like, oh, yada yada. She interviews all these people, she builds up. I'm not gonna say that much without spoiling it, but so she finds a lot of stuff that the police probably didn't look at while they were investigating the case, the short investigation that they did. And she finds a lot of stuff. So excuse me. So she looks into it. She ends up teaming up with the little brother of Sal, and because she interviews him first, I believe. Let me back myself up on this. She doesn't interview him first, but one of the first people that she interviews is Ravi is his name, and she finds out that it's like she gets evidence from him and stuff, but he's like, I want to help you in finding what happened to my brother. So they decided to group up. They find some stuff that is very interesting, because Fairview is a very smaller town, so everyone knows everyone. So it's kind of interesting. So yeah, she finds out a lot of stuff. I can't say anything else about this book without spoiling it. Read it. I gave it 5 stars. 4.9. Okay, it was there. It was there, but there is a better book in this series. Which is where I go to Good Girl, Bad Blood. So she finds stuff out about that case. And so this is a new book. So she's still hanging out with Robbie. One of her friend's brother goes missing. She's like, okay. And so I'm just going to read the back for you guys because I can't say that much. The top says, some secrets are too deadly to tell. Pip is not a detective anymore. With the help of Robbie, she released a true crime podcast about the murder case they solved last year. You know, although the podcast went viral, Pip insists that her sleuthing days are behind her. But when someone she knows goes missing and the police won't do anything, Pip has no choice but to investigate. After all, Jamie Reynolds disappeared on the very same night the town hosted a memorial for the 6-year anniversary of the deaths of Andy and Sal. It has to be more than a coincidence. Pip follows a trail of clues, uncovering more of her town's dark secrets along the way. And this time, everyone is listening. Will she find Jamie before it's too late? So a little thing that I can mention. So she makes a podcast about what she discovered in the last book. So she decides to make a second, what is it called? A second season to her podcast. And so while she's trying to find Jamie, she's also recording, which is kind of not a good idea because people know where she's at. So like she gets a lot of hate and a lot of not very good stuff. So age rating on this one, 12. Not as much as the last one, but just murder. Yeah, just read it. It's such a good. This is my 5-star. If you watched my last video, I brought this book up. So a lot of people have mixed feelings about the ending of this book, and I just want to say that this is probably one of the books besides like The Fault in Our Stars that made me cry the most. And yeah, I don't know why I started crying. It's kind of like one of those things that you probably won't cry to, but like I did. So yeah, that's pretty cool. So yeah, it's a pretty good book. Good Girl, Bad Blood. It's book 2 in the series, and yeah, very, very good. Read it. Make sure to read the first book before, then you won't really understand about this. Okay. Oops. This leads us to the last book of the series. As Good as Dead. So if you look at the cover, you can kind of tell that this cover is like a very interesting cover. Duct tape, blood. So basically, she solved that case, you know? And she kind of ends up in a case of her own. How do I say this? Let me see what the description on the book says. Okay. Okay. So it says, you'll never think of good girls the same way again. Pip is about to head to college, but she is still haunted by the way her last investigation ended. She is used to online death threats in the wake of her viral true crime podcast, but she can't help noticing an anonymous person who keeps asking her, who will look for you when you're the one who disappears? Soon the threats escalate, and Pip realizes that someone is following her in real life. When she starts to find connections between her stalker and a local serial killer caught 6 years ago, she wonders if maybe the wrong man is behind bars. Police refuse to act, so Pip has only one choice: find the suspect herself or be the next victim. As the deadly game plays out, Pip discovers that everything in her small town is coming full circle, and if she doesn't find the answers, this time she will be the one who disappears. So this one is a very slow paced book for me. A lot of people didn't like this book. A lot of people loved it. I liked it, but I didn't like it until I finished it. Very, very, very slow book. This one, I would have to put, like, it's kind of the same age rating as the other ones, but this one has a visual description on murder. Not very, 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 but like, what is the word I'm looking for? Shall I say it? Gruesome. I can't say anything else. But I would say like 14 years old on this book. It's a very disturbing book. That's what I'm gonna say. Yeah. Can't really say it's the last book of the series. It's a very, very good, very, very, very good book. But there's also a novella that really doesn't have anything to do with the storyline of this series, but it is called Killjoy. It's a little novella. It's about, let me look, 120 pages. And it is a very good book. I read it in a day. It's basically has nothing to do with the Andy Bell case, but it has stuff to do with Pip and her friends. You know, if you learn to grow with her friends in that book series, then you'll love this book. So I guess I'll read the back for you. So it says, 6 suspects, 3 hours, 1 murder. Pip is not in the mood for her friend's murder mystery party, especially one that involves 1920s fancy dress and pretending that their town is an island called Joy. But once the game begins, Pip finds herself drawn into the make-believe world of intrigue, deception, and murder. As Pip plays detective, teasing out the identity of the killer clue by clue, the murder of the fictional Reginald Remy, which is the name of the fake dude that dies, isn't the only case on her mind. So this one takes place before the first book, but I wouldn't recommend reading it before the first book. You totally could. There's no spoilers to the first book in this at all, but I feel like you'll get to know the characters more if you read those 3 books before you read this one. It's really, 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 really good. Like, I loved it. So it's kind of Pip getting to know her love of like murder mystery. So it's kind of like what gives her the idea to cover this case for her senior project. It's really fun. It's giving clue. I gave a little overview of what I think. Let's wrap everything up. We got these books again. A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, Holly Jackson. 4.9 stars. That's all I gotta say. Good Girl, Bad Blood, Holly Jackson, book 2. 5 stars. I love this one. As Good as Dead, I believe I gave it like a 3.8 stars. I didn't enjoy this book. But that doesn't mean don't read it. It's good to have this book in your knowledge, just yeah. Killjoy, 4 stars. It was a good book. Nothing spectacular, nothing bad. Holly Jackson is a genius. I loved these books. They were very good. And I just wanted to say that you should read them. I'm very excited to watch this show. This is my personal opinion on what I think about the A Good Girl's Guide to Murder series by Holly Jackson. Overall, I think I give it a 4.5 stars in general. It was a beautiful series. Yeah, so thank you for watching. Have a good rest of your night, day, whatever you're doing.